Greetings! I am Roland Sullivan, one of the original 100 change agents, and that's how I brand myself, because Dick Becker told me, and he has it in print in his book called The Change Agent, the story of his life, that there was 100 of us in 1967 that were full-time management of change professionals. That's how we, and the only way that we got our compensation. And we all know each other. And at that time, I was one of the youngest. Most of the guys and gals, they were mostly guys, only a couple of women, like Edie Seashore, are not with us anymore. You know? So, what's the purpose of this? Scott Ross, which is one of the higher level people in the Association of Change Management Professionals, invited me to a structured interview that he's going to conduct in the next week or two about my feedback on the standards for change management. Well, I thought I'd better get prepared because I really care about this. And so I finally read it, at least the first 10 pages, but then I skimmed the others. And off the top of my head, I give the reaction to the 88 pages. In the next 15 videos or so, they're all on YouTube. There will be a 16th that'll be coming, where I give my standard based on Werner Berk's standards. And I like to say this is off the top of my head. You know, I have not done any preparation for this. Sure, I should have seen Cotter's video on the difference between change management and leading management, but I didn't. I can imagine what it says, and I imagine he agrees with me. In any case, this is an unprofessional edition. My usual editor, Maja, is studying for a statistics exam in one of the best organization change programs outside the U.S. at Ateneo University in the Philippines. They're doing some tremendous research for me in my next edition, the professors, 3 of them. And social psychology is what her degree is and what they teach. And Kurt Lewin coined the phrase social psychology. Social psychology is the best foundation for anybody leading change. Kurt Lewin coined the phrase. Gave us the word feedback from it. Gave us the word process from it. Okay? And so, given that, please give me feedback, because know that I contradict myself here, because Barry Johnson, who gives us the notion of polarity management, has influenced my life deeply. So I'll say yes here and yes here, but when you look at them, they contradict each other, because yes is in the context of what I'm talking about. And I also confront. According to Chris Argyros' style, the greatest confronter in OD, and one of my key mentors. But I support totally what's going on here. I mean, the Association of Change Management Professionals are creating the best ever document of what the standards are. I mean, hundreds of people have been involved. They spend hours and hours. They've had retreats, 2-3 days going over and so forth, and etc. And so this is what they come up with. So I'll support them till the day I die, because I think the change management people are where it's happening in the world today of change. I think it needs to be transformed. Now, video 16 will start with my standard based on Warren Berk's standard, which upsets the cart. Because Werner Berk said at the Association of Change Academy of Management a number of years ago, I was there, and people cheered when they heard it. He says, change process is not linear. He says it's cyclical, it's sporadic, it's complex, it's whatever. And your 100 flowchart boxed thing in the appendix is rational. It's logical. Beautiful. Nothing is missed. But I'm telling you, It's not going to be a plan that you can use to herd buffaloes, as we saw in the Kevin Costner movie, right? You gotta sit down and have a vision in your mind, then you go out and you play the soccer game with bare hands. You can't follow step by step. Okay, and so Burke's model is simple. And he's developed it over the years, since the Academy of Management thing. It's simple. Pre-launch, launch, post-launch, sustainment. It's going to be in my 4th edition book. Okay? It's in his 4th edition book. He's developed it since he's published that. In the 2nd edition of my book on Change Champions, because it's the foreword. And so, out of that, I'm going to give you my 10 standards that I believe fit the modern world. And I'm just going to say, I don't expect a profession to be able to pick them up and to use them, because they're very specific to myself and my style and what I've learned and how I think I can teach it. And I don't think you can teach this stuff to the masses effectively. I think it's got to be following a simple process where one coaches the change agent before them to do it. Okay? So, search YouTube. You can search standards of management practice, Sullivan, and then you have this, you should come up with the 16 numbers one way or another. I don't expect really many people to go through the 16, but I thought I would share it. Because I've got Tim, who is from ProSci, writing in my new edition. And he's talking about the difference between change management and organization development with Rothwell and with David Jamieson, 2 experts on OD. And Gail is joining him too. She has 38,000 people following her on LinkedIn. That's important. We got to listen to the dialogue, the conversation, the engagement that's happening, because it's happening so fast. Okay. Thank you. I look forward to your feedback. My purpose is to contribute in my little old way. I'm just a one-person shop. And what's important is the wisdom of the entire system of organization development, change management, management of change, and organizational transformation. That's the key. How are we going to get there? Soon we'll have the tools to do it online. Cheerio! Bye-bye. Be good, do good.